About a year ago, a friend of mine found a postcard online. It was for sale online. And the postcard showed two Japanese girls holding a board, just like this board that I'm holding right now. And the background behind the two girls, they were shot in a photo studio, but the background was a breaking wave. So he sent me a file of the postcard, a photograph of the postcard, and he asked, is that actually a surfboard that they're holding in their hands? We didn't know. So we started doing some research, and we found that the Japanese actually had a surf culture that dated back to the 1800s, possibly earlier to the 1700s. And these little bodyboards that they were riding were called itago nori. We learned that the itago were actually floorboards off of fishing boats. And the nori means to ride. So we learned that the itago nori were actually common. They were in common use. Now, this particular board was made in the 1950s, and this was used as a rental at Kamakura. I have a friend in Kamakura, and I explained this whole thing to her. She made some inquiries, and she actually found someone, a friend of hers, whose family owned a rental shop on the beach at Kamakura. So he had some extra boards, and she was kind enough to send me one. So I believe this is the first itago nori, Japanese bodyboard, here in the Hawaiian Islands. And right now we're standing on Waikiki Beach. I think one of the things that impressed us most about all of this is that Japan had a traditional surf culture dating back all the way to the 1700s. Now, most of us think that the Polynesians were the ones that invented surfing, and certainly they took it to the highest skill level, higher than anyone else in the world back in the day. But here we have evidence that the Japanese had their own traditional surf culture that ran in tandem, in parallel with the Polynesian surf culture. And it's a phenomenal historical point for surf historians everywhere.
How does it work? So you put your fingers in there, I'm assuming. Just like this. That's cool. That's really neat. That is really neat, John.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to give it a shot, see what happens.
Yeah, let me know how it works.
Okay, I will. It was excellent. I really had a good time. The board rides really well. I was surprised. It rides better than I thought it would ride. I found out too that when you have the handle up in front, the water up from the wave tends to push up through the hole and hit you in the face. So I found the board worked actually better to turn it around and ride it backwards. That way you don't have the water coming through the hole and hitting you. So anyway, I tried it both ways. It works fine both ways.